Hello guys, welcome back to another video today, and in this video we're going to be upgrading our curly haired Tarantula's enclosure. So what we're going to do, show you the enclosure he's in right now. It's a bit dreary, we haven't got no lights on it either at the minute. And yeah, spruce it up. We've got some cool stuff down here which I'm going to show you in a minute, but we'll show you his Exoterra now, and then we'll show you the new stuff that we're going to be doing to it and upgrading, so let's go. So obviously we've got our snake rack, leopard gecko, tegu, and then we've got this little Exoterra here. Now the curly hair, this was his most recent molt, so you can kind of get an interpretation of the size of him. He's burrowed under that bit of cork, but I got him from my local pet shop when he was literally about this big, so he's been with me a while and he's grown and grown and grown. We haven't got the light hooked up. In the new kit we don't have a light, but we've got a bigger one of these in our storage that we can connect. So what we're going to do is show you a before like this and an after, so hopefully it will all go to plan. Now we'll show you the stuff that we've got to do the build. So this is the stuff we've got to do the build. We've got the Haberstat spider starter kit. Now this was £80 and I'm in England, so depending on that, I'm in the UK, so depending on where you are in the world, that price might vary for the Haberstat kit. But with this you get the 30 by 30 by 32 glass tank with a roof vented top, a digital thermometer, coconut cave, which we won't be using, water dish, which I always suggest with spiders, some spider bedding, which is a good make as well. Haberstat, they do really good spider bedding, some moss, feeding tongs and a spray bottle. So we're going to open this up and show you what we're going to do with it, but we're not just going to leave it plain glass like this one. What we're going to do is actually cut this background, hopefully to size, on the back and both the right and left hand side of the glass and silicone it in. This background was half the price of the starter kit. This background was £45, that's a lot of money, but it's cork bark and obviously does go for a fortune. So we're going to have a little bit on the back, side and side, silicone that on and leave it a few days because we don't want the spider to go in there whilst it is still drying. And then we've got a cool little cave which we can put halfway in the substrate with some nice moss on and a little branch to arch across the viv. So let's get this open, have a little look at it, and then we'll make a start on cutting this and siliconing it to the glass. So instead of unboxing it all and making a rustling noise and not knowing what is what and what is where, we've just unboxed it all and we'll talk through it. So we've got the viv, and it was very well packaged with the cardboard on the top and the bottom to prevent cracks, and it was also wrapped with film to stop scratching as well. So really well packaged there. Then we've got the Haberstat Spider Life bedding, which I really like. A little bit of moss, whether it will be any good if it will just focus. There we go, it looks like a sort of air dried, air vac, so we'll see when it is in how it looks. This, which we won't use because it's just too small, and yeah. Little spray bottle, which is quite good because fine droplets are best for spiders. A water dish, which is good. Little temperature gauge, even though I'm running this tank with no heat because it is in the reptile room. And some tongs, which again we probably won't use because we've got quite a lot of tongs. But that is all how it is. Everything you get in the kit, bar the background and the big hide there. So what we're going to do is try and cut this background to size and silicone it in, which will be a bit tricky because we can only access it through the roof here, which comes undone via these little clips. And obviously we have to make the background smaller than the actual glass because if not it won't fit either side of the frame. But we'll cut to that in a minute and we'll see how I get on. So now we're doing a little voiceover, so it's a couple of days beforehand, so I might have forgot the exact order, but what we've done, cut out some cardboard, basically wanted to see the exact size that we needed to cut, because we've got to allow for that little black lip around the front, which can be quite tricky, because obviously if we fit it and then we can't then get it in, we have to do it sideways like that, so we've got to make sure it fits within the black clips to then sit underneath. So once we've done that, we cut out the cardboard, we got the size, marked it out with a permanent marker just to make sure that that was the exact size we needed, and then once we've done it, we cut it, and that was as easy as that. We'll show you the tools we are using later to get these clean cuts, but once we cut it, it fits absolutely perfect. And again, don't worry about the bottom being too close to the floor because you're going to cover it with substrate. We then used CT1, which is an adhesive which we glued to the back. Now we've done numerous like little dots and speckles, as you can see here. Didn't know whether the best method would be to do zigzags or big blodges like this. So I've done big blodges because I thought when we then squeeze it against the glass it will expand and push outwards, which it did work quite well. So we basically done that. Then we used a little multi-tool. Again, what we done, just marked out what we needed to and cut right across. Again, not going to show all the cutting because it's as simple as what I say basically. As long as you measure, as long as you mark, then you should be fine. This was the hardest panel to do because we had to account for the glass door. So when you open the glass door, it swings out wider on the inside of the tank. So we needed to make sure that it didn't catch that. So we had just about enough room there. And then when we done the last panel, we were running out of room in terms of the bark. So we have to do 2 connecting joins, which wasn't too bad because we can use the top bit and the bottom bit where they're both clean cuts. So that made it all look like one piece. On the outside you'd know, but on the inside you wouldn't really know any different. Right, so about 40 minutes later, all of the background is in. We've got one side panel there, quite snug, the back one, and then this one, because we were getting short, we had to basically make 2 joins. So, well, 1 join, 2 pieces across here. There's the join. You can't really see it looking at it like that, but obviously if you come out around the side here you can see the join there. Now if you don't want the sides to be seen like this and look unattractive, you can spray in black, which is what we're going to be doing. So that will be black there and there. We're going to leave behind it because you'll never see it. And now we're going to add the substrate. Right, so we've added the spider substrate. As you can see, nice and fresh and dark, and then we added the cork bark hide that we got. Obviously it's got the moss on the top as well, so it looks quite cool. We are going to have a light over the top of this as well, so it will be lit up. But obviously now everything's in with the background taking up room on the sides, and this, you wouldn't think there's a lot of room, but given he is currently in that, then he's got a considerable more amount of room, and bearing in mind he can climb on these sides now that they are 3D background. He could climb on the glass, but it would be a bit slippy for him. So he's got all of that to utilise, and he's got a nice dark burrow which goes quite far down, all the way to the bottom there. So yeah, I don't even know if we need that log, but we might try and incorporate it in, and we're going to chuck the moss about, give it a little spray, and hopefully hook up the light if I can find it. So here we go, it's a little bit dark, but so you don't get my reflection. This is how it looks with the log in. Well, now we just cut that little bit off the log there, wedged it into the corner, and the good thing about having 3D background is you can really wedge it in against the log at the top, or the cork at the top, so it's pretty solid, not going to move. And then a little water dish and hide. So now what we've got to do, we've got a bigger one of these in storage. Just need to hook a bigger one up to this on the back and make sure we secure it safely to the back. Plug it in, see some light under it, give it a spray, and then we'll add the tea. Now with the bigger light, as you can see, it is a fair bit bigger when you compare the two. If it'll focus. So yeah, quite a bit bigger. What we're going to do is just clean up this little adhesive bit where it slots into, give it a little clean, stick these 3 little pads to it, whack it on the back of there, give it time to set, and then hook this whole lighting system up. There we go, so a short time later we're finally done. We set up the Exoterra light, but obviously because this is a Haberstat tank, the actual clip didn't fit to the back of the glass, so we've had to stick it on the actual framework, as you can see there. So it's a little bit loose, but I've added 3 stickers so it should hold nicely. And obviously that is a much bigger light, if it will focus, much bigger light to what he's got there. So now we've got to somehow dig him out and transfer him into this new one. So what we've done is we'll give it a little spray down, we've installed the log, put some artificial plant back there, little stick, big like stone there. He's got his burrow and his water bowl. I'm not going to film trying to transfer him over because it's going to be stressful, so hopefully you'll see him when he's in. And there we go, he is finally in. Now that was a little bit tricky just because obviously we don't normally handle him. What we done is took this roof off, slanted it sideways, aimed it in, opened this door and slowly touched him with the tongs very, very gently, and he kind of really slowly just turned around and walked in. And then he went straight down into the burrow. You can't really see him there at all, but hopefully I'll try and get some shots when he's out later. But if not, that is him in the new enclosure, gone from that old thing to this. So yeah, what do you guys think? Do you like it? What could we have done better or different? And yeah, any improvements or what you like about it, let me know in the comments down below. We'll try and get some clips of him out tonight. If not, we'll sign off the video. You'll find out any second now. Now, this was a few hours later when the little guy come out. He didn't really do a lot, and then he done loads of exploring throughout the rest of the night. So other than that, that is the video. Thank you guys for watching. He seemed to love it, and stay tuned for another one next week.